Alright, my name is Achtung and welcome to the Achtung Gaming channel. Today we are gonna showcase the things for Angry Ranger. At least that's how I named it. For it's not complete or it's a good build for Alar or Season 7. Let's start off with what we're gonna do. This guide is based on my experience theory crafting in my head and ideas that I thought were fun, but also solid for gameplay. It's very likely not going to be a meta build, but builds that I loved experimenting on and keep on going doing so. I'm trying to focus on seasonal style of gameplay in this guide. That means these guides are supposed to help people on Alar get solid start from where they can go around and experiment. Sometimes these builds will be very flexible, sometimes they will be rather strict on what you need to have in order to make it a success. I prefer to avoid epic and legendary skill cards as core cards, so all the things you see as core are either common or rare. I thank you for watching, sit back and listen to what I have to say. Maybe try it out for yourself. So what we pick at the start. The skills you want to pick up are on level 1 for this build, and it's Auto Shot and Wrath. These two are critical to get into the same build as I use and makes the epic RE that I use a solid pick. Wild Wrath. This RE allows me to instant cast Wrath with up to 60% of my attack power scaling when Wild Quiver deals damage. This pairs nicely with Locust Ranger RE, but more on that later. Bonus skills that you can pick up on level 1 and they will really power up your build way fucking high. There are also certain spells that you can pick on level 1 to make your game much more easier, and it depends on what you get and what you prefer. But these skills that I mentioned are my top choice if you don't mind rolling till your fingers hurt. And we have here Aspect of the Hawk, Hunter's Mark, Blessing of Might, Frost Armor, Life Tap, Serpent Sting, Conjure Water. Life Tap and Conjure Water for mana. Damage is obviously Blessing of Might, Aspect of the Hawk, Hunter's Mark. Frost Armor will help you kite, and Serpent Sting is another nature damage. What to pick up on your mid-game. On level 30 there are two important skills that you aim for in this build. These two are Insect Swarm and Steady Shot. These two skills once again have synergy with Locust Ranger and Wild Wrath as well. Insect Swarm is a talent spell from Balanced Druid tree and is a common card, so keep that in mind and keep a talent point free. Steady Shot unlocks the ability to gain from Locust Ranger, but as I already mentioned, will discuss that a little bit later. Talent points, key importance for this build. These talents, in my opinion, are key to make this build a success. Ranged weapon specialization makes it so that we don't use ammo when we use auto shot on our target. Wild Quiver is the core talent and can be found on Marksmanship Hunter talent trio at level 50. Improved Insect Swarm will allow our Wrath to deal more damage and any other nature damage spell we have. I believe there is also Wild Quiver included. Earth and Moon talent makes our Wrath increase the damage of our spell damage by 10% unless it's arcane and nature, which leads to 16% increased damage. But it also reduces the healing of the target by solid 40%. This is helpful on higher difficulties, but also PvP. Obviously, Insect Swarm should be a part of this page, but we already spoke about that. Talents. These talents are currently used by me with the idea that they synergize well with my personal build, so keep that in mind when you look at the following portion. Mental Dexterity. Given the fact that I play an Agility as my main priority stat, I have already a solid melee attack core, but increasing it by 60% of my intellect will come in handy with the next talent. As mentioned before, the increase of Mental Dexterity is coming handy. It further increases my spell damage from this talent, which makes my Wrath spell damage and spell damage based spells do more damage. It's mental quickness. Efficiency. Decreases the mana cost of the shots and sting spells. That includes steady shot, but also makes us shoot faster. Self-explanatory, right? While Hunter vs Wild, attack power increase based on stamina. A solid pick for all attack power based builds in my opinion. Combat experience increases our agility and intellect, which means double boost to our build, but also increases our chance to hit with all spells by 10% of our agility, which is already high, given that it is our main priority. There is one sleeper that I mention here, which is Spiritual Attunement. 10% of mana recovery based on heal cost is it is Prot Paladin talent, and in my opinion, people should sleep on the power it does for just 2 points a lot, especially on modes when you can guarantee mana regeneration gain. This is a talent that will give you mana based on the healer's costs of his healing spell, and it will help you in the long run in terms of how long you endure in the fight. First thing to showcase is the power change between non-aspect of the hawk and power of the aspect of the hawk. It should give me about 150 attack power just because I pressed this button. Wow. I love it. And we talked about talents. I think the most talents for my build are hidden in the Hunter tree, but there are also some hidden on other specs. Bonus skills. These may contain legendary and epic skill cards, but are not mandatory. But they will make your build exponentially stronger, and I will only mention them and show them on screen, since most of them are widely known, and as before, I show as well what they do. Keep in mind that if you gain anything of this, you're gonna get exponentially stronger in this specific build. At least what I consider for my build to be an upgrade. We have Rockbiter, Sprint, Feign Death, Hammer of Justice, Evasion, Counterspell, Moonkin Form, Conjure Mana Gem, Poison, Water Shield, Tame Beast, Molten Armor. Alongside the first ones that we showcased during the level 1s, these will even more increase power, okay, for this one specific build. Rockbiter is self-explanatory. Molten Armor is increased crit if you don't get Frost Armor for kiting. Poisons can be used on arrows as well. Let's go into the rotation. Rotation is based on the raw minimum of skills in this build, meaning Auto Shot, Wrath, Insect Swarm and Steady Shot. If you have more skills, which you have, and think you can weave them in, go for it. Extra note, this rotation and my playstyle is based on endurance run. I want to be able to fight as long as I can, so I play around my mana and preserve it a lot. Combat start. Insect Swarm into one Steady Shot or Locust Shot triggers a Locust Shot RE. Auto Shot until you have 3 stacks, or Insect Swarm is almost over on the enemy. And that is it. Note, if you have Hunter's Mark, which we mentioned in the first portion of our starts, start with Hunter's Marks. Duh. For the rotation, as we mentioned before, we start with Insect Swarm, and then we start with a Steady Shot, which will give us a proc, SPC, and it's about to expire. 1 second, and bam, refreshed. We are fasting already somewhat fast. It can go even faster with Berserking, for example. Could go like this and start shooting faster. We forget to draw the wall, but we will get fast attacks, and the war is actually solid damage, in my opinion. And yeah, this is what it looks like. You can see the mana is really costly. It gets really costly. And I do believe it's still increased by our Earth and Moon, the damage, but who knows. Quick showcase of how much damage we done in this short span of video. Steady Shot didn't do much because we don't press it so often because of the mana. Wild Curve did a lot. Insect Swarm does a lot. Auto Shot and Brav will do a lot because we are shooting fast as fuck, boy. Random Enchants, Legendary Enchant Edition. Locust Shot. Locust Shot is RE, is key to my build, given the fact that I used Wild Brav RE as well. Locust Shot will give you a unique skill and trigger Wild Quiver when it doesn't do critical damage. That way, if you have Wild Brav, you will get a stack of Wild Brav, increasing your Brav damage by 20% of your ranged attack power and make it an instant cast. Another RE that you can pair up with this is Primalist. Another epic RE. If you have Primalist as an RE, your Steady Shot will proc Primalist and Wild Quiver the same way, making your Wrath not only instant cast but also cost none mana. 0 mana. Random Enchant. Epic Enchant Edition. Wild Wrath RE, as mentioned a few times already, makes your Wild Quiver make your Wrath instant cast, but also scale with your ranged attack power up to 60%, but it also refreshes the duration of insect spawn, and that is why it is a core ability to my build. Primalist, we spoke about this as well. Primalist is the reason why I choose Steady Shot instead of Locust Shot, since Locust Shot is nature damage. It won't proc the Primalist enchant. Steady Shot is, however, a physical ability. Sadly, your auto shot won't count as a physical ability, which is a shame, but nonetheless, okay. For my build, Munition Expert is a key as well, and Bow and Arrow are must do for me. Munition Expert is the reason why. It makes my auto shot 30% faster, but it deals a bit less damage, which I don't mind, given the fact that I still proc Wild Quiver, which is extra damage. Faster auto shot, more Wild Wrath procs chances. Simple as that. Random Enchant Common and a Rare Enchant Edition. I mentioned the two that I believe are the strongest in this one, specific to those 4 skills. Wild Quiver RE, which the RE explains itself. It increases the proc chance of Wild Quiver, therefore Wild Wrath has as well by 12%, making it a total of 24% on auto shot to proc, which is every 4th shot, speaking in math, right? Don't make me angry. Pretty much explains itself. 21% more damage on Wrath of your attack power should work with ranged attack power as well. I hope you enjoyed this build presentation, and maybe I lured you into an interesting gameplay option. I will showcase the gameplay in Dungeons, since I am not a good player in PvP, in another video that will be separate, so which should be uploaded soon as well. So check in again. Yes, this is your cue to subscribe. If you like the build, feel free to use your thumb up the video, or even share it with your friends. Feel free to reach out to me in comments about your experiences with a similar or same build, or what build would you like to see next. Stay awesome, because that is what you truly are, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.